Building this type of base is fairly simple. There are a few key things that you will need. As you see me doing here, the first thing that I'm using is some cardboard. I'm actually just in the process of gluing it all down. And after I finish gluing, we somewhat have a decent base to build off of for our diorama effect. Now, the whole purpose of me stacking all of these up is that I am trying to imagine what the peak of the rock base would look like. So in order for me to achieve that, I need to add that height to the actual base itself. And by doing so, I can somewhat recreate what I am currently envisioning with this. Once you have finished gluing everything down, you should have something that represents somewhat similarity to this that I have created. Now, obviously, you can create it as your own, but the next step involved is to actually take a little bit of drywall compound. This is drywall putty, and we're going to be spreading this over the base. The one drawback to starting out with this that I would say, number one, it is very difficult to spread over top of the cardboard, and number two is the actual drying and curing time of this. So after I apply this layer, I generally will let it sit for a day or two in order to set up and fully harden before I continue with anything else. This is what the product will look like after it is applied. Now, obviously, this in itself is a very rough shape, and now we can start to take the end of a brush and kind of work in some of the shapes that we would see that naturally occur with rocks. For instance, giving it edges, giving it grooves, so on and so forth. Once we finish shaping everything, we're going to let it set up. After that, we're going to prime it. So what I did here is while I was priming my minis, I went ahead and sprayed this as well with just Chaos Black. Very simple. Now we're going to be taking a triad here. We're going to do some Ironclad Gray as a base, and then we're going to be highlighting with Ash Gray, and then just a final top highlight with that Ivory White. So as you can see here, I'm slowly and gradually applying all of that Ironclad Gray. Now you can use whatever gray substitute you want as long as it is within a deeper tone of gray. As we look at more naturally occurring rock formations, you will see the deeper tones that are within all of them. And with me envisioning this base with the way that I have seen, I wanted to start off with a really deep gray as the base for it, and then gradually work into a little bit of the lighter colors instead of just going with the general black and then lighter gray for the highlight and calling it a day. So I just added an extra step there, but as you can see, now we're moving in towards all of the highlight layers here, with the first one going off of the ash gray. And I'm just going to slowly start picking away at it and moving my dry brush in one direction to pick off all of the raised edges on top of the rock. Once we finish with the ash gray, we are now going to be doing a final highlight layer using our ivory white. You can also use Wraithbone as well as a substitute. They almost have the exact same tonality to them, so it will work as well. But this is just going to be that final little pizzazz, I guess you would call it, just to really bring out some of the top layers on our highlights here. I am only going to apply this highlight of ivory white into key areas amongst the base here. I don't want to add in way too much and take away from the ash gray layer by just over accentuating the highlights themselves. I just want to pick out a few certain areas that I would like to stand out. Once we are satisfied with our top layer highlight, we are now going to be moving in towards something that makes it look a little bit more natural. If you ever notice rocks themselves when they're in the open, they have a few different tones to them. Sometimes you will find some browns mixed in through there, and a lot of times you'll start to find mossy greens, deep greens, any type of earth layer. So I'm trying to replicate that here by using a military shade wash. I do like this one a lot. It is a very deep green, and it will work very well. And another thing that I will be adding is that Korak green over top as just kind of a simple highlight. Now that low spot that I just finished picking out there is basically where the pool of water will be, and I'm also trying to add in a few key areas here as well that would somewhat catch the eye a little bit. Now this is where that Korak green will come in. This is very handy to use as it will really accentuate that deep layer that you just put in and give it just that slight bit of punch, so it will somewhat show through that rocky texture that you have created. Something that I am personally adding here is going to be a little bit of this green ink. Now you do not need to do this. I decided to do it just to really give it something that will stand out amongst all those deep tones. I wanted something a little bit lighter, something that would be a little bit more visible, but yet not to the point where it's going to take away from the actual piece that we're trying to portray. So I thought that this green ink would be very fitting for some of the recesses and just to catch a little bit of the higher edges and recessed edges within the piece itself. So let's get into the showcase of the piece. I'm going to go back to the ivory white over here. This is personally a favorite. I tend to use it quite often, but I'm going to start working around the edge of where our water will be. Now the reason for this is because I'm going to be layering in a few different shades of blue. Now obviously you can use whatever shades of blue you want. I'm not going to tell you which ones you absolutely need to use because almost every shade of blue will work, but the idea is to have the center at being your darkest blue and the outside edge being the lightest part of your blue, almost to a white. So this is why I went with that ivory in there. And next I'm going to be working in a few different tones of blues. So once you have gotten everything mixed into there, now we're going to be attacking all those blues as I said, and you can kind of see where I wet blended all of them together. Another thing that I tried to do is add a very deep blue ink right into the center to kind of give it a more of a natural, deep looking attempt at the water, I guess you would say. Now this is where the magic is going to come in. You don't need UV epoxy and anything like that. What you do want to grab is some clear drying epoxy. For this, I use the Gorilla epoxy. It's a simple 2-part. I barely used any of it. It's cost effective and it will do the job. So you want to start by mixing in a little bit of it at a time. You don't need a bunch because you're going to waste a bunch. So you start by mixing in just the right amount. You kind of gauge it by eye. And then once you have it sufficiently mixed, you're going to start slowly pouring it in. The one thing that I did not do, and I do regret this, is using a type of torch or lighter to get rid of the air pockets that are created within the epoxy itself. So if you have something like that on hand, this would be the time to use it after you finish your pour. You just want to gently skim over top of the epoxy layer to get rid of those air bubbles, and you will actually make it look very seamless and it will flow really well like water. Once you have finished your pour, if you do decide to go over with the lighter, you won't have the air bubble like I do, but it is what it is, and your finished product should resemble something like this. And if you made it all the way to the end, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and I will catch you on the next one.